I wanted to launch on Juneteenth, so that's exactly what I did. Hey everyone, so I just want to say thank you for tuning in to our first YouTube video. I'm so excited to get started. So let's get started. So this will be, as you know, a video of getting to know North Rose. So let's just jump right into it. So the first question that I wanted to answer was, who is North Rose and what is our mission? So North Rose is a small business that was, very well thought about and prayed for, but the emphasis on prayed for, okay? We go by a motto, and that is the secret ingredient is love. So that comes from the scripture, 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. Take a look at that, y'all. Basically, that is our motto because, we believe the secret ingredient is always love. So all the candles that I make literally comes from my heart. I take pride in, making them, and it's something that I actually really enjoy doing. So the North part of the name comes from me being from Northern California and San Francisco specifically. So it comes from being from Northern California, and then the rose comes from roses being significant in my family. So that's how I came up with the name. It took a while for me to come up with the name. Also, it took a while for me to come up with a specific theme. So I ended up coming up with or going with a nostalgic theme, and I kind of just stuck with it. So I've been obsessed with candles since I was in high school. And when I went to college, I was a science major, but then I ended up changing my major to business. And, I had a different business at first, but then, it just wasn't sticking for me. And I was just like, God, I know you brought me to this point, and I know that you have something bigger for me to do. I'm not sure what that is. And, after just getting signs and confirmation from different things, it just became like a light bulb went off, boop, that candles are exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's how I was led to do candles. So again, I chose a nostalgic theme, and I was trying to think about cities and countries that I've been to, and I was like, yeah, I haven't been that many places. So I was like, yeah, that would not be very authentic, and I can't assign a certain scent with a certain place because it wasn't given that to me. So I ended up just thinking about what else, how can I basically stick with my nostalgic theme? And I came up with years. I was like, years, yes, years. I really love that idea. So of course I started with myself, and then I went up to my parents, and then up to my grandparents, each set of my grandparents. So that just really stuck to me, and I really liked the idea. I felt like it was really different, and yeah, so that's how I named them. So research, Google, YouTube, and my imagination. Basically, that's how I came up with everything. So basically just researching and watching YouTube videos and trying to figure out, what will work for me. How did I want my labels to look? How did I want my candles to smell? Which 3 scents did I want to do first? What kind of, stuck out to me to do differently? How did I want my site to look? What shipping company do I want to use? What's the best way to save money by doing this? That kind of thing. No matter how many videos you watch on YouTube or how much advice people can give to you, you have to do it for yourself. So I know on the site that I order from, I order a lot of my supplies from, they would recommend oh, you can use this wick for this, but it becomes very technical when you depending on the kind of wax you get, because you will find that a lot of soy waxes, they don't leave a very clean finish on the top. So it took me a while to find a really nice wax that I like. So everything is taken into account. I had been testing candles since 2019. So when I came home in 2020 from school, I just continued to do that. I didn't know when I was gonna launch, but I knew that I was gonna launch. So I have been testing since then, tested over 40 wicks, practicing, doing so many burn tests. I was able to figure out what worked for me by just taking my time and you know, just taking my time and doing it how I wanted to do it. It took me about a month after I graduated from college to launch. I graduated college May 15th, 2020, and I was done testing around like May 30th, and I launched June 19th, 2020. So it was like boom, 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 back to back to back. It was a lot of work, but it felt so natural to me. Like, it was just like, you know, this is what I have to do. And if I want to launch on the 19th, and it was very important for me to launch on June 19th. It was just, I wanted to launch on Juneteenth, so that's exactly what I did. So during that process from May 30th to June 19th, I was like trying to figure out what kind of packaging I wanted to use, because I had knew what jars I wanted to use and what wicks I wanted to use. Also, the wax I wanted to use. And the packaging, I chose to go like a very simple route with the packaging, because I wanted to focus more on the quality of the candle. So I was gonna leave, you know, like the nicer packaging and everything for later, because I was just starting. So I ended up finding like boxes at wholesale prices. I got my business cards, my thank you cards, the bags and everything that I wanted to use for drop-offs. I was creating my site on Wix at first, but then I ended up switching to Shopify, because Shopify was just a better e-commerce software for me. I felt like Wix was like very structured at the time. I don't know if they're kind of different now, but everything was in one place for me at Shopify. So, and also just trying to figure out what shipping company I wanted to use and how much I was going to charge for shipping, because I was taking into consideration, you know, we're in a pandemic, so, but I was also trying to make sure that I was, you know, pricing my candles at the correct rate to ensure that I am being compensated for all of the work. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget about yourself when you have a small business. You have to pay yourself something, so, and your business has to also grow. So I was just keeping that in mind. And yeah, I think the last thing that I did was, you know, write descriptions and, you know, taking pictures for your stuff. So I take all the pictures for my stuff. You know, I think it's good for right now. I think the pictures are like good for right now, but I definitely want to like step it up a notch. But that is all that I have. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I'm really excited